Hey guys, welcome back to our place for another video. Today we are going to pop into Spudshed. So I thought I would take you guys along for a ride and you can come and check out one of WA's supermarkets. So for you guys who are not from the Perth area, Spudshed is a big fruit and veg shop with groceries in there as well. We did pop in couple of weeks back, actually probably a couple of months ago now, and we were blown away by what there was to choose from. There was a huge variety of fresh fruit and veg, plus a whole bunch of groceries. So we are going to head back. I'm going to take you guys with me so you can see what Spudshed is all about. If you've never heard of it before, I was really overwhelmed the first time that we went, but this time we've got a bit more of a plan and we know what we're looking for. So how about we go and pack everything up? We're going to jump in the car and we're going to shoot down to Spudshed.
So one of the things that I found really interesting in our travels around Australia is all of the different supermarkets that we actually have. I know we always think of Coles and Woolies, but there's actually a bunch of independent supermarkets. And this is a really good example of one. So Spudshed has some really good deals that we were finding today, but sometimes some of the stuff didn't look the best. So you really do need to be a little bit selective with what you're purchasing. And what we found last time was, though, even though these are some really good deals, like a lot of the stone fruit and the apples at the moment are a fantastic price, we weren't getting a lot of time out of that produce. You really do need to be able to eat it quite quickly. But at $3 or $4 for a kilo of apples, I mean, you can't even compete with that at the supermarkets these days. It's really worthwhile if you have a supermarket like this close by. It is sort of seconds fruits and veg, I guess. But being able to maybe pop in twice a week and just buy what you need rather than buying enough for a week or 2 weeks, because you're not going to get the longevity out of it. But have a look at this, 99 cents a kilo for carrots, and onions. These things are staple items, so if you can get them really cheap, then you're ahead of the game anyways. And of course, Spudshed, you'd expect there to be good deals on potatoes. These were the big 4-kilo bags for $3.50. Absolutely crazy. They also have a massive meat and dairy section. Now, we didn't go into those for obvious reasons because we don't eat meat and dairy, but they did have a great freezer section that we were pretty excited to get back and check out. We were looking for some specific items that we purchased last time, and they didn't have them, which we found really interesting. They do have is a lot of these massive big 1-kilo bags of frozen veg for a really good price, but I did happen to notice that a lot of them were coming from overseas, in particular China, so we weren't getting a good deal on Australian produce, but we were getting some cheap fruit and veg. It is also worthwhile having a look for these crazy cheap stickers that you would see around the place, and you could get some incredibly good deals on various different items if that's what you were looking for. But they had a massive grocery section in there as well, and there was a lot of good deals on basic items that you could stock your pantry for and have some of those basic supplies at a really good price. Now, a lot of it was brand name stuff, but still some really good savings to be had. And this is what we ended up with today. It's not a huge haul. We did spend $51.45 just picking up a few things that I actually thought were a decent price or that we have a bit of trouble getting. So I'll start over here with the plain flour. I have been doing quite a bit of bread since Frugal February, and we're going to continue doing this. And these were $2.49 for a 2-kilo bag of flour. That is ever so slightly cheaper than what I can buy them at the supermarket. Coles and Woolies have a 2-kilo plain flour for $2.70. So I'm saving 40 cents there across the 2 bags, but every little bit adds up. This was a big
save for us, and one of the reasons we wanted to go back to Spudshed. This is Shannon's favorite curry sauce. You can buy these at the supermarket and they typically run around $5 for a single box. This is a double box and these were $5.69. So for an extra 70 cents, or a little shy of, we're actually getting two almost for the price of one. So I've actually got 4 single packets here. This would be worth over $20 at the supermarket, and I've only paid $11.38. So definitely a saving there. I also grabbed some of the panko breadcrumbs. This one was on special today for $1.99. I did a quick search at the supermarket. The exact same pack for the exact same size, this is an important thing to be checking, was $2.70. So again, I've saved 70 cents for something that is a bit of a pantry staple. So it's always worthwhile when you're at shops like this just to have a quick check on the Coles and Woolies app and just see if it is a bargain or is it not. Now, the Oreos were $1.09, and this is the big one with 2 extra cookies. So we did grab this one for Charlotte as a little bit of a treat. As you guys know, if you've been around for long enough, we're not upset about treats and we're not upset about snacks, but for the most part we do try to eat a predominantly plant-based diet and we focus on getting in lots of veggies. So the occasional Oreo is not going to be the end of the world, but you know, kids are kids, and not going to pretend that this sort of food does not exist. I did grab 2 of these. These are a relatively good price. This is a 720 gram jar of applesauce for $2.99. Now, compared to what you can get in the supermarket, and you can compare your per 100 as well, this ends up saving us about 15 cents per 100, which adds up across the jar. So I'm paying a little bit more for a jar that is twice the size. Pretty happy about that. All right, fresh fruit and veg. Now, we didn't grab a lot, and part of that was because we did experience last time that the fresh fruit and veg just does not last very long. So we only grabbed what we're really going to use in the next couple of days. We did grab some bananas. They weren't a bad price at $3.99 a kilo. It's on par with the supermarkets, but we also needed to get some more. So they've been sitting at around $4 at Coles and Woolies the last couple of times we've been in there. So it's about the same price. Apples were a good price, and these are Golden Delicious apples, which you cannot find all over the place. These happen to be Shannon and Charlotte's absolute favourite of all time, but usually we don't consider these because they're not available in Coles and Woolies. But they had them at Spudshed today, and not a bad price. They were $4.49 a kilo, and this is a little over a kilo. I've got 1.25, so $5.62 worth of apples. Not bad considering what we've been paying at the supermarket. All right, our mushrooms were quite a good price, so I did grab a packet of these. It is a little bit smaller than what you get at the supermarket. This is only $3.75, but at $4.99, it's, you know, on par with what you're getting at the supermarket. That is a 500 gram box for usually around the $6 or $7 mark. This one's $3.75 for $5, but there's enough mushrooms in there that we're going to use in a couple of days, and I don't have to worry about them going bad and not using them quickly enough or having to come up with some way to use them. The kale was a very good price. This is a huge bunch of kale. I don't know if you guys can see how big that is. There's my hand. That should give you some kind of reference, for $1.99. That's a really good price for kale. It is already starting to go a little bit yellow, which doesn't affect the kale. You can still use it when it's like that. It just means that it's starting to lose some of the good stuff which makes it green, which my brain cannot think of what it's called right now. If you guys can let me know in the comments what it's called, but basically the goodness that's in there. Same with broccoli. If it starts to go a little bit yellow, that's fine. It's just losing a little bit of its Yep, that word is 100% eluding me today. But anyways, so this will be good. I'm going to de-stem it. I'm going to get it into the fridge, and I will cook that up and use that in the next couple of days, along with our broccoli. So broccoli was per head, so it was about $1.70 per head, or it was 3 for $5. Now there were a variety of different sized heads in there, and we went for the biggest ones that we can find. Some of them were quite small, and then some of them, like this one, were actually quite large. So we went for the nicest looking ones. Some of them were starting to go a little bit moldy, and some were a lot yellower than what we got. But 3 heads here was over a kilo. I think it was almost 1.2 kilos for $5. Now at the supermarket at the moment, broccoli is going for $6.90 a kilo. So this was a better buy, getting the bigger heads. If I just grabbed the smaller heads, it was probably under a kilo, and it was probably on par with the supermarket. So again, it's worthwhile doing a little bit of homework, and you can do it while you're in the store, just to make sure that you are getting a really good buy. Our avocados were 2 for $3, so $1.50 each, about on par with what we're getting at the supermarket at the moment. But these are quite large, so I do feel like, compared to what I saw at Coles and Woolies last week, that's a pretty good buy on our avocados. I feel like I'm getting more avocado for $1.50 or $3 than what I was at Coles and Woolies. So there we go. That is our little haul of what I thought was worthwhile picking up at Spudshed today. It is putting us a little bit in front, and at the end of the day, every little bit helps. So second time around at Spudshed, what I will say is I think it's a little bit hit and miss. I would equate it to being a little bit like Aldi for people who are not in and around Perth. So it is worthwhile knowing your prices at the regular supermarkets, Coles, Woolies, IGAs, even Aldi. If you do shop there a fair bit, you sort of have a bit of an idea of what your regular prices are. The sizings are different, so to compare apples and apples, sometimes you need just to do a little bit of research and a little bit of calculations. But there are definitely some bargains to be picked up at Spudshed. It is a little bit hit and miss. They did not have some of the products this time around that we were looking for that were there last time, so obviously their stock changes. So go in with an open mind and an open heart and just see what you can find at Spudshed. Just remembering that we did find that the produce that we bought last time didn't last as long as what we would have liked to. We did need to use everything up fairly quickly, but with that in mind, we go through fresh fruit and veg at an alarmingly quick rate as it is. So it wasn't that much of a drama for us, but I certainly wouldn't go and buy 2 weeks worth of fresh fruit and veg and hope that it's going to last. I don't think you'll get that longevity out of it. But if you want to go and pick up some bargains and you're going to use them up in the next couple of days, then there is definitely a few dollars to be saved at Spudshed. Thank you for spending a little bit of time here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did, if you could please give it a thumbs up, I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you'd like to see more of. And if you'd like to see more stuff from us and you haven't already, now would be a great time to go and hit that little subscribe button down below. Don't forget to tick that notification bell so you can be notified when my new video comes out. Well, I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Bye.